Okay, Shrihari, congrats on making it to your second Olympics now.
Thank you.
This time it wasn't the A standard, but then
Yeah.
how's your feeling? How's the training going right now?
Yeah, it's quite disappointing and unfortunate that I didn't achieve the qualifying mark, even though I've been training really well. It just didn't happen in the race, and that's how the sport is. So I've come to terms with it, what it is, and now I can only focus on what's lies ahead and not dwell on the past.
Yeah, it's a qualification for you nonetheless. So how are you looking at things? And you must be tracking all the other swimmers as well in your category, which is 100-meter backstroke. So what's your feeling around that? Where do you see yourself at the Olympics?
It's it feels really great, and to be able to take part in my second Olympics. Going to one is a dream for many, and I get to go to two now. And I think I'm the second swimmer only to do this, so that's a great feeling. And yeah, I know what to expect from most of the swimmers around the world who swim backstroke because I've been competing with a lot of them for so many years. But none of that's on my mind. I can only control what I do and focus on that. So that's the plan, and that's what I've been doing.
Right. Had it been a big motivator for you if more Indians had qualified? You of course have one more swimmer who's qualified in the women's category, but does it kind of push you to do
Uh,
even better? Had more
can you repeat
swimmers
that? I
gone?
can't. Can you repeat that?
Sure. I am asking, had more swimmers qualified from India, would it be a big motivator for you, or it remains the same?
I mean, yeah, it probably remains the same. At the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me with how big the strength of the team is going to be. It'd be great
Yeah.
to see a big group of swimmers swimming at the Olympics because we never have. But I tend to just focus on me a lot when I have to, and
Yeah.
I shut out the rest of the world. So it's something I haven't really thought about as well.
Right. If you talk about your training regimen, how does it look like? We are just a month away from the Olympics, not even a month now. So, how does
Yeah.
it look like? If you could just describe your one day to your fans.
Yeah, so I pretty much train every day from Monday to Saturday, and
Yeah,
Sundays are the only days we have off. And out of those 6 days, 4 of those days have me going to train thrice a day. So I swim in the morning from 7 to 9, 9:30, and I get to the gym by 10:15, and I swim for about an hour and a half to two.
yeah,
And then I have swim again in the evening from 5:30 to say 8, 8:15
yeah.
in the evening. So that's pretty much how most of my day week looks like.
And if we just talk about your training regimen right now, is it a lot of weight training right now? Do you have to bulk up at the moment to be able to swim those distances that to at that speeds, or it is more about your endurance at the moment?
Uh, I mean, it's actually not about both. There's a lot of swim training more. There's a lot of swim training happening, and the gym is just to maintain basic strength,
Yeah,
and all the work is happening in the pool. So there's a lot of trying to simulate my race and a lot of short sprint work. And then there's a bit of endurance work as well because the 100 meters isn't necessarily, it's not like the 100-meter dash in
yeah.
athletics. So our race is about 50, 52, 53 seconds. So it takes a lot longer. And we have to have the endurance to swim at a high pace as well. So we do a lot of speed endurance work.
Yeah. Also, diet is a very important component of training. And a few years back, I read an interview where Michael Phelps said he had 10,000 calories per day during the Olympics. So, is it on a similar note for you as well? Do you have a training? Do you have a diet plan ready for you that has dedicated number of calories for you as well?
Not exactly. I do eat quite a bit and I like my food. So I try to enjoy my food and I try to, indulge in a bit. But
Yeah,
that's under control for most of my season. I
yeah,
do have the occasional cheat meal and or sweet
yeah.
here and there, but yeah, it's pretty much a lot of home cooked food. Just trying to get in a balanced nutrients, balanced nutrition, refuel after training, fuel before training. Just make sure that
Yeah.
I'm eating enough to make sure that my body doesn't break down, and I make sure I don't eat too much so that I don't put on weight.
So what's your diet like now, right now? Because you're training 6 days a week. So how does it look on the 6 days, and how does it look on your day off?
Um, I mean, I have about 5, 6 meals a day. I have my usual eggs for breakfast, sometimes with bread or dosa, like that, rice for lunch, and maybe like pasta or roti for dinner with curry. And I have like I have coffee and maybe like a protein bar or something else to snack on, like a fruit or something before evening session. So I get in a few snacks inside here and there. But on the days I'm not training, I might not eat as much. I
Yeah.
might skip the snacks that I have before sessions. And on a Sunday, I generally wake up quite late, so I might skip breakfast and just directly have lunch.
That's great. But do you have
Yeah.
and your cheat meals? Do you like sweets as well, like all the other athletes do, like to indulge in sweets
Oh yeah. I
after
mean,
a long?
for about 17 years that I can, for the first 17 years of my life, I had ice cream every single night at home with my
Yeah,
family. So it wasn't about, just it was just about something that we did. I grew up on that, and I like my ice cream a lot.
yeah, yeah,
I like desserts. I like anything with sugar, to be honest. I like chocolates. I like like Mysore Pak. Anything that has sugar in it, I'm up for it. I don't find anything too sweet at all. Like I heard people saying this is really sweet. I've never
yeah,
had that problem as well. So it's something I enjoy a lot.
yeah. That's great. I think you. I've interviewed so many athletes in my life, and
Mhm.
they have a similar point. Like when you indulge in sweets, you just go all out. You don't stop yourself. Is that the case with you as well?
Yeah. Not exactly, because there was a point where I might tend to do it sometimes, but when I do nowadays, when I do have like a piece of sweet, or maybe like a spoon of ice cream, I know to stop at one or two, and I don't overeat or like finish the whole box.
Yeah.
So I have that control in me right now.
So do you stay vegetarian or do you also get
No,
non-vegetarian?
I only eat eggs. No, I only eat eggs.
So is that enough? Like a lot of people complain that Indians don't eat enough meat. So is that a hindrance in any sort or it just doesn't matter?
I mean, I'm kind of doing it now, but and I mean, there are supplements that we can take to
Yeah.
make sure we get enough protein. So that way, I think it's quite manageable.
Yeah. Now I would want to talk about 2020 Olympics. You, of course, made the A cut, A standard over there, which
Yeah.
is again a great thing for an Indian athlete. How do you look at 2020 Olympics now? And are things better right now in terms of your performance at the moment? If you compare it with
In terms
2020?
of training, I'm training much better,
Yeah.
probably 2, 3 times better than what I did in 2021.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why I shouldn't be racing better as well. It just hasn't clicked, like I said earlier. It just has to happen on that day. So now the next month is pretty much trying to figure out why it hasn't happened and how to make it happen. So quite confident going into 2024.
Also, if I could take you back to 2021 Olympics, do you have any stories from there? Because of course it was a great moment for Indians when you made it to the A
Yeah.
standard. And do you have any stories that are really memorable? I saw somewhere that you met the Spanish football team over there.
Yeah.
So any sort of stories do you have from there? Like what your day looked
Yeah,
like
I
on the
mean,
competition day and some more fun stories.
the whole village experience was quite overwhelming, and it's a new thing for me, getting to be meet the best of the best athletes from every single sport,
Yeah,
like getting to meet Djokovic, getting to meet Spanish football team, and things like that, and also getting to hang out with some of the other Indian athletes from other sports. That's something I've never done before in any of the other games, and it hasn't happened at the way it happened in the Olympics in the past 2, 3 games as well, like in the Asian Games or the Common Games, because everyone had so much other things to do in the Common Games, Asian Games, and we were all in like different buildings and stuff like that.
yeah.
We just didn't get to, meet and hang out and go have meals together. But in the Olympics, we had an entire building dedicated to the Indian team, and we would have
Yeah.
meals together, and we would, you know, socialize and spend time together. And that was something new, and it was quite exciting to be a part of that crowd.
Do you remember the competition day, the prelims and the day following that? How did it look like? What was it to live that moment?
I actually don't remember much about the training parts. I know it rained on the day of my race, so I was walking, and I don't know why I just decided to wear the wind cheater instead of the regular tracksuit.
Yeah,
It was just something that I thought about in the room, and I had no idea it was raining. And then I walked out, and it was raining. I was like, okay, that was good intuition on my part.
yeah,
And then, remember getting to the pool, it just it felt like every other race. It felt like every other World Championship or Asian Games or Commonwealth Games. I remember the lead up, like going into the race. Remember I swam in the second pool that the venue has because my event was towards the end.
yeah,
Um, I I had a particularly very good warm up. Generally, I judge how I feel based on how I feel in warm ups, and that was quite good.
yeah,
And yeah, other than that, it was just the races were good. I was calm. I was ready to go. I remember the race quite well. I had a good start. I had a good first 50. I saw my split, and I was like, that's the same split as my best time. Now I just need to find a little bit more, and I get a personal best and mostly a semi-final spot. But the
yeah,
second 50, just the last 20, 25 meters just didn't happen. So yeah, I remember all that. It's still not very clear because
yeah,
there's so much in this zone at that point.
yeah. So, do you also listen to a lot of heavy metal while you're going to swim? Because a lot of other swimmers do, and that's what I've heard. So, how do you
Actually,
zone out
no.
just before? Then, what do you listen to during?
I really like heavy metal music, but it's not something I need before the race because I think I need to listen to something much slower because I'm generally quite energetic and hyper. So I
Yeah,
think the calmer, and I've also noticed the calmer I am and the quieter I am, the better I swim. So I listen to anything that isn't quite fast. Sometimes I
yeah,
listen to instrumental, sometimes I listen to some slow pop, some country music. So I mean, I've had some really good races where I've been listening to Mozart before my race. So it just
that's
depends
something
on
unique you
the day.
have.
Yeah, I love classical music.
Yeah, that goes for Hindi, Indian classical, and
No, just Western classical when it comes to like the piano and the orchestras and stuff like that.
just one last question, Fieri. A lot of athletes talk about visualization, visualizing a race.
Yeah.
So, is that something you also do? Because that really helps an athlete, I've heard. So, does it help you as well? And how are you visualizing your race this time at Paris?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've actually done that for quite a while. And I usually even do it going into training sessions. I try to visualize my training sessions. Like if I know the workout or if I'm told by my coach that we have this and he wants me to do something in this, then I can get myself to just replay it over in my head the way I want it to go. And then, you know, I can kind of have like a blueprint in my mind. And now it's just about it's there and the mind's gonna execute it. So I don't have to think much when I'm doing the race and tell, okay, this is what I have to do. Because at that point, my mind already knows what it wants to do.
Yeah,
Sometimes it might, sometimes it doesn't, but it's already ready and it's prepped to do what we want it to do. So it's something I've done for a while. And going into Paris, I actually haven't really done that yet because what I do is I like taking things one step at a time. And I had like for example, I had a really important session yesterday,
yeah,
and since I knew that yesterday morning, I spent all of yesterday like from the morning session to the evening, how I wanted the set to go. And I had a good set. So today's been an off day for me. So I haven't really thought about anything. And then going into tomorrow morning session, I'll focus on what I want tomorrow morning session to be. And I won't think about what I want to do in 2 weeks yet. Like, of course, I have an idea of what I want the race to be like, but it's not something I'm going to
broadly.
start
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Yeah. I like to take things one step at a time.
awesome. Thanks a lot, Fieri. Thanks for
No
taking out
worries.
time sometime, and I hope you make India proud again. And all the best for the
Thank you.
games.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.